if you don't have enough money, we're not going to treat you. And the whole thing. So it was really challenging. And so I was looking for another solution to try to help people manage pain, manage emotions, without all of the side effects and without the FDA and the red tape.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Championship Leadership Podcast. We got Lauren and Marc LeFlere, currently in Sarasota, Florida, with us today here. They're also being highlighted on the TV show Boom America that I'm a part of, with Kevin Harrington, one of the original Shark Tank members. So I'm excited to talk to them about their new product and company that they have that's really doing a lot of good for people with some pain and stress inside of their lives, and a lot of other benefits as well. Very unique technology. I think that's the right word to use for this. And so, yeah, excited to have you guys here. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
We're
so
excited
much.
to be here.
Absolutely. Why don't you first tell us, just a listener, before we get too deep into things, what it is that you guys have created, and I'm curious to hear the story behind it and how it all came about and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I'll let you guys take it from here and kind of share with us what you have and what you're up to.
Sure. Thanks. I'll kick off. My background is in therapy. I'm a specialized addiction counselor. And so I spent years in hospitals, detoxes, rehabilitation centers, and through a lot of that time, seeing the truth about opioids, benzos, and legitimate people going in for surgery, needing assistance to deal with the pain and recovering from these things. And then they don't mean to, they don't want to, but you cross that invisible line and you become addicted to these things. And so it's been really troubling for me to witness all of that. And then the red line of insurance companies. And, if you don't have enough money, we're not going to treat you. And the whole thing. So it was really challenging. And so I was looking for another solution to try to help people manage pain, manage emotions, without all of the side effects and without the FDA and the red tape. And so I started going into a different modality of healing, and I got all sorts of education and certifications in quantum and integrative medicine. And I'm a body talk practitioner, have a bunch
What
of
is that?
Cute little titles. We call it whole healthcare. So, if someone comes to me and they tell me that they have back pain, instead of immediately going and getting an MRI, I will ask them, what happened to you when you were a child, when you were 7 years old, between you and your father? And we can go into a whole other scope of healing. Where are you holding your trauma? Where are you holding stress? Because it's manifesting in aches, pains, cancer, all of these other things that traditional doctors are not taught about. It is science. It is medical, because I've been taught this. I was raised by an MD. My dad is a retired physician. So I grew up with that. Something's wrong, take a pill. Something's wrong, slice it open, take it out, right? So I have both sides and I get it. So that led us to, and Marc's background, he can explain better, but, for our backgrounds to come together and to figure out how to help the masses, because, I can only see one client at a time when they were coming to me, and we have 4 kids. So my time slowly was being taken from me, and we were looking for something tangible. What can we do that's not going to have any side effects, that's going to stay in quantum medicine, that's not going to be addictive, is the top of the list for us.
Sure.
And so we started playing with ideas, and, little by little, we ended up coming up with these patches, and this is just the packaging.
Yep.
But you know, we have these tiny little patches. I have one, you can't even see them. I have one here.
Actually, I have one on my face.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I
you can't see it.
lost a tooth. I
You
lost a
can't-
tooth, so I
Yeah.
have it on my face right there.
Right. So you know, so they are these magical tiny little patches. We call them magic because most people are just like, oh my God, when you try them. We
Yeah.
actually have software that captures energetic codes of frequencies. And we upload them into the material on the patch. So you don't have to charge them. They don't need batteries. You know, it's not something that you
Yeah.
gotta like plug into your USB.
Yeah, right.
You
Right.
know, you use them, they last for 72 hours, and then you throw them out and then you just put a new one on. So that's
And the
the
name of your company again for everybody listening?
BodyHZ. So it's
BodyHZ.
BodyHZ, HZ like hertz, megahertz frequencies.
Yeah. Yeah.
The website, shameless plug, is bodyhzpatch.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
BodyHZpatch.com. Beautiful.
You know, Lauren comes from more of that background. I come from more of the athletic background. You know, I worked as a physiologist and a strength conditioning coach for 25 years.
Okay.
You know, and I was a professional athlete. I've had 17 broken bones and, you know, dislocations and different things. And so, you know, I'm about to be 50 this year, and it's all catching up to me. You know, you start feeling those aches and pains that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
And when we started developing this a few years ago, you know, Lauren was using the patches with her clients. I started using them, you know, with myself, but also, you know, with my clients, with my athletes, with just regular everyday people, you know. And like you were talking, you know, earlier we spoke, you were talking about just, you know, tightness from working out at the gym, you know, and everybody kind of goes through that, you know, whether it's a gym or doing yard work or playing with your kids, you know, that everyday soreness. And, you know, seeing those types of people along with the people, you know, that Lauren, you know, sees as well with, you know, specific issues and mental issues, you know, traumas and stuff like that. You know, just see a wide range. And then we were able to get the software and the device to actually do it on a big scale, a mass scale, and, you know, try to put it out there to everybody. And, you know, it's been a little tricky. Like Lauren said, it's a different science. You know, we call it magical just because it's the way it works. You know, there's no drugs, no chemicals.
Right.
You know,
people don't get that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Every cell in your body vibrates at a specific frequency, you know, and we can measure that. And so far, scientists have found over 17,000 different frequencies that resonate in the human body. So when you have a pain, or if you have a sickness, or, you know, a disease, you can't sleep, or if you have stress, it really just means that those cells aren't vibrating at the right frequencies. So, you know, Lauren mentioned earlier, we upload our patches with hundreds of different frequencies specific to different ailments or different things that we're trying to treat. So for pain, you know, we have over 500 different frequencies that are uploaded onto each patch that deal with specific issues from pain. They deal with everything from oxygenation of tissue to regeneration of tissue to circulation to nerve damage. You know, and like Lauren said, you know, a lot of those things, it's just the vibration. And so when you put the patch on your skin, it uses a process called entrainment. And so if you're out of tune, basically almost like a tuning fork, it finds hit right frequencies and tunes itself into the right frequencies and heals itself over time, you know, based off of the injury, whether it's acute or chronic, or, you know, how far out of tune your body is. You know, everyone's body kind of reacts a little bit different, but like I said, there's no drugs, no chemicals, nothing goes into your body, the non-transdermal. So that's kind of how we got here, you know, from two different backgrounds, but coming together, and, you know, from the athletic and, you know, the therapeutic, and, you know, really finding a need for everybody, really.
Yeah. What's you said you're a pro athlete. What sport did you play?
I was a soccer player in high school or in college, and then went on to do martial arts, kickboxing, and taekwondo. Fought in the Pan Am Opens in '96, and there's my age right there.
Oh, very cool.
Like almost 30 years.
Oh, I got some ties to taekwondo. Do you you don't happen to know any Wakefields, do you?
I don't. You know, honestly, I haven't really followed through with it a lot since I finished. In 2009, I had 2 strokes, and you know, haven't really gotten back into it until recently. My family, you know, everyone in my family does martial arts, you know, except for me. honestly, right
yeah.
now. I'm just starting to get back into it, but you know, back in the
Gotcha.
a lot more into it than now. But since
Well,
then,
yeah, this would have been in your era. Kim Wakefield, she a good family friend. She was I think she was a part of the national team for a bit back in the 90s. And then her mom was international ref and just got put into the Hall of Fame just last year.
wow.
And then what about Juan Moreno? I know we're getting off topic here real quick, but does that name
Yeah,
ring
you
a
know,
bell?
I know all these names sound familiar to me. You know,
Yeah.
you know, when you're out there, it's
Oh,
all
totally.
a lot of the same people.
Totally. So, but yeah, so I mean, you obviously have a, you know, a number of, I'm sure, you know, especially in MMA and in mixed martial arts, Taekwondo, your body was put through a lot, right? And some of those injuries that, you know, if you're an athlete, I'm sure, you know, you see, it's like the age old, right? You see the old athlete walking around, they can barely move, but they all, you know, tend to say that they wouldn't do it over differently if they could. But it sure is nice when you're able to have a technology or something like the BodyHZ that you guys came up with to help that quality of life, right?
Well, you
Because I
know,
think some people get to a point where they just kind of accept this is just how it's supposed to be, right?
well, I know we get that a lot. We have a lot of people come into our office. They say that, or you know, doctors that can only get them to a certain point, and they're like, "Hey, you're just gonna have to deal with it." And you know, and some things to a point you might have to. You know, my thumbs, and you see my thumb right there. I have arthritis in my
Yeah.
thumbs, busting my thumbs, you know, a bunch of times, and
Wow.
it never really goes away.
Yeah.
I have a patch right here on my neck on my vagus nerve, and that really structure would help with arthritis. And so there's days I wake up. You know, we also own another company, a vending business, and so I have to carry a lot of heavy bins. And there's days I wake up and I can barely make a fist. And
Sure.
you know, just putting the patches on. I have another one on my hand right there.
Okay. You really
Can't even
see
see
it.
them, right?
Yeah.
I'll try
Right.
to
Go.
really,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. When you hold it
Dot,
up
that
to the
little dot.
screen there, you can see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You know, and I can still feel it, you know, but
Sure.
I can function. And
Yeah.
so sometimes, you know, it's just a matter of like, let me get through the day, you know, and
Mhm.
that or I can't work, you know. And so again, it depends on the injury, depends on the person. Generally, most things, you know, over time, you work right through it. You know, certain things like this, that's just not going to go away.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Most, I would say, our basic response time from people, and we love to do this,
Yeah.
maybe like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I can feel it
Wow.
immediately.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pain having 4 kids and sciatica and all of these things. And I
Yeah.
put one on the top of my hip up here in the back, and one then down the side of the leg that it's traveling down, and 5 minutes and I'm good and I'm up and I'm moving. So this
That's
is
incredible.
unique. We'll be like sitting with somebody and they'll say they have something going on, and we'll stick a patch on them. And then
Yeah.
we'll carry on with the conversation
Yeah.
and steer them away from the conversation. And then we'll like circle back around, maybe like 15, 20 minutes. Like, hey,
Sure.
how's your neck doing?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. You know? And we love so much the reaction from people because, you know, for years we've had clients come to us. I need a walker. I need a wheelchair. I need oxygen. You know, they're carting around a tank. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just try, you know, and we'll use the pain patches also have oxygenation frequencies, circulation, all sorts of stuff. So for our COPD and emphysema clients, we put patches down their lungs, in the front and the back, and they don't need oxygen.
Yeah.
They don't need walker.
Wow.
I mean, you know, and so
incredible
to get this information and this technology out, it's really pivotal, I think, for society right now, because people are just over big pharma. People are over their family members being addicted, dying. I don't want to tell you how many people I have personally lost to drug addiction, overdoses, honestly, suicide, because they just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to, you know, shift all of this.
Well, not just the addictions, the side effects from a lot of these drugs.
And you can't handle
it's like one side effect leads to another, having to take another type of drug.
Right.
It's, you know, and I think people now are getting to the point, you know, you're wondering, like, is it really going to help me? What's it going to cause? You know, and you're like, am I stuck? I have to take it. You know, how much is my doctor making from this? You know, is that why I'm taking this? You know, and so there's a lot of those things out there. I think people are losing confidence, and I think something like this, that you don't have to worry about the side effects. You know, there's no doctor getting money on the other side, and you know, you're not gonna have to worry about getting addicted. I mean, it's so.
Something else we're trying to do right now is we just hired this amazing doctor, and she is writing our clinical trial protocol for us. And even though it's this weird, you know, we don't need to be FDA approved because there's no food and there's no drugs in the patch, but they don't understand it. So we just are moving into the space of getting the FDA certified medical device protocol. And then that will open all sorts of doors for us.
I bet.
You know,
it's hard to understand that, you know, that you don't need the FDA approval, or that we honestly you don't need it. We can't get it. And we don't have it's not even an option. And so when people say it's FDA approved, we'd love to, but we can't.
But we don't need it.
No?
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's literally well, like you said, it's a patch or almost like a sticker, right? You know, because you guys sent some to me here late last week, so I got to use it a few of them, and they stay on too. They stick really well, which obviously is the first thing you're thinking about, like, oh, is this thing gonna stay on, or is it gonna fall off right away? But no, I mean, they're very quality as well. I was impressed by that, and how well they just, and then you forget about them. I do. I almost forget that I had them on. And like I said, I don't have a ton of pain, although I don't know. I probably have the personality to where I don't really tune into my pain, whether I have it or not. I don't know if that's a tough guy mentality or what. I don't know, but I just don't like to complain about a lot of things.
I think when you have it for a long time, you're just used to it. It's just that it's, you know, and sometimes it's just, that's, you know, she'll say to me sometimes I'm moving around, it's like, why didn't you put a patch on? I'm like, you know, I have them right there. You know, obviously I have enough of them, but I'm just used to dealing with it. You know, you're like this.
Absolutely.
But if you don't
have to
prove that, it doesn't have to be right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. So, when someone were to, you know, like you sent the patches to me, not super familiar with it, of course, yet, and do you have a lot of resources on, like, people to go to see where should they be putting these, or, you know, how to use them the most effectively, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, on our website there's a whole section just for directions, and it has literally specific, like, clean your skin first, like, you know, either alcohol, witch hazel, just soap and water, whatever, you know, because if, like, we're down here in Florida, so, you know, you can't have sunscreen and, you know, be all
makes sense.
like that. So we have very specific directions of what to do, what not to do, you know, like with Mark, his tooth cracked, right? And so you wouldn't believe, we had someone actually say, well, if I get it in there, am I going to swallow it?
Put it on the
buddy, no. And so we have on our packaging really big letters, external use. If you have dentistry, it goes on the outside. So we have all of that.
BodyHZpatch.com. We you know, there's directions, there's, you know, everything from that to testimonials, and, you know, anyone's listening is not watching, I mean, see how small they are. I mean, you can't see them when we show you on the skin, but they're literally the size of a nickel. And, you know, regardless of your skin tone, they're transparent, so it just blends in. It's got a little brown dot in the middle, so, and that's really honestly just so you can see the patch on there. The brown dot doesn't really do anything.
So if you're watching this, you can see I mean, they're small, they're clear,
they're tiny, and
once you put them on your skin, they blend right in. You don't even notice it, you don't feel it. But yeah, if you're listening, you're gonna have to go check out BodyHZ patch or patches patch.com.
Yeah, we're super proud of our little product.
Yeah, absolutely. When did this start for you guys?
We just rebranded, you know, we were formerly another company, and we shifted gears, so we are just getting going again now, but we started 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what's the big goal in vision for you guys and what you want to do and accomplish?
You know, we'd like to get it out there to the masses. You know, for one pack, it's you know, it comes with, there's 3 strips of 10, so there's 30 patches in there. And so
Yep.
it's 90-day supply if you're using one per day. You know, it's $45, you know, for a pack. And so, you know, that was our goal, was to keep it affordable, get it out there to the masses, you know, and honestly, just really try to help as many of these people as we can. You know, we've been handed a really good opportunity with this show with Boom America. And, you know, one of the things that I think both of us are really proud of is the stress patch, and particularly the PTSD. You know, both of us come from military families. Both of our fathers were in the Navy, and both of us have a lot of friends who are police officers and first responders and, you know, military. And, you know, like Lauren mentioned before, like, you know, when we put patches on people, and, you know, it's great when someone's elbow feels better, their shoulder feels better. But, you know, we know a lot of people with some serious emotional trauma, and put patches on them, and to literally sit there and watch the effects. It's amazing, you know. And so, and like Lauren said earlier, you know, the emotional trauma you hold on to manifests itself into physical pains and ailments, you know. And so, you know, to really get it out there, I think, to the masses, but to really get it out there, you know, hopefully to our military, to our, you know, first responders, you know, I think that would be our top goal.
Super passionate about that.
I mean, and, you know, I think from there, you know, kind of see where it goes. But, you know, ultimately, you know, we want it to be everywhere. You know, we want everyone to really learn about it, understand this technology, and know that there's options besides drugs. And, you know, and say, hey, where can I get it? And know that there's a place to go.
A big vision is, and we're working with Kevin's guys on all of this as well, as getting into the stores, because even if you're not talking about opioids, even Tylenol, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, they're working on your kidneys. They're working on your liver, you know, and people that take it habitually for pain, they don't realize that until years later. And then you have all these other issues. So we would love CVS, Walgreens, Target, Tylenol, Motrin, BodyHZ. Here's your solution for pain. And it doesn't break you down in the process, you know, to have that visual.
I wish I would have had these on my last 100 miler. I a little guilty. I do take some Tylenol and ibuprofen throughout the run.
When's your next one?
Right, we're gonna load you for the next one.
Definitely.
I'll tell you what, for your next one, I know you're coming off of it. You know, for healing, you know, that's one of the great things about those pain patches. You know, when you train, and you know, obviously doing 100 mile, that really breaks down your body quite a bit. And, you know, and the healing process takes a long time. But even just going to the gym, you know, when you're breaking down your muscles, you're creating tiny little micro tears in your muscles. And so patches actually help your recovery time. They help your muscles heal faster and get back into training faster. You know, like Lauren said, the pain patches have oxygenation in them. So putting them over your lungs, you know, about 4 fingers down, about 1.5 inches in from your collarbone, you know, coming from here. So when I train, I put one over each lung, and it helps open up your lungs, just helps you breathe. You know, and it helps your recovery time. And so there's a lot from that standpoint also that, you know, and then when you go to do your next one, you know, we'll make sure we get patches, and so make sure.
Absolutely.
Set you up.
I'll have them all over my body.
You will. And our good old Don man, he's uses them and endorses them as well. And, you know,
Don Man, former SEAL Team 6 member, and I know he's an endorser of you guys' product. He's just a great guy, New York Times bestseller, but like, just a lot of incredible service and experience, you know, fighting for our country on, you know, the corners of the earth that maybe a lot of us don't even realize exist. And, you know, he's the reason we can take for granted sometimes it's the freedoms that we have because of people like Don. So, but like you say, people like Don, you know, everything that they've went through, there's a lot of trauma and a lot of PTSD, and there's a lot of physical aches and trauma that come through a career like that. And to be able to help those people is amazing.
Yeah. Because that's why we get to do what we do. You know, if it wasn't done, we wouldn't have this company. Right. So, you know, we can give back. Yeah,
absolutely. What's been some of the biggest challenges for you guys so far with, you know, just the startup to getting it out there, to everything that you've gone through so far?
You know, we really got set back when we had to rebrand, and it wasn't a mechanical issue with the product. It was a branding thing there, and we did our due diligence. And so we could have gone around it, but that really set us back. We lost all of our PR, all of our media, website, hundreds of thousands of dollars in inventory, and we had to scrap it. We couldn't use any of it. So that really set us back. And we are so committed to this product and to getting it out there. We were like, okay, this is gonna really trying to watch my mouth. Sorry, trying to watch my language.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
In it. You know, but we just didn't want to give up, and we had to start another company in the interim. We have 4 kids, and so we had to do what we had to do. And we were just like, okay, we're going to start over. And then Bob called, and we were like, well, it's perfect timing. Let's hit it. So other than that hiccup, I think the biggest thing is just that educational piece. And so it's so good now that we're out post COVID, because social media is so in your face all the time. It's giving us a whole other platform now that we can just educate. And it's become a lot easier this time.
And people can find it easier, you know, and it's, and also it's helping us to let people know it's not a new technology. I mean, we have a new way of putting it out there, but it's been around for 100 years. You know, this is something that Einstein and Tesla and Rife were using and working on. And, you know, we have just found a different way to apply it, you know, and so trying to get people to understand that. And, you know, when you say there's no drugs, no chemicals, people, that's when Lauren said it's like magic, because well, then how would it work? There's nothing on it. Why? And so, you know, getting past that and having people realize that it's not a faith belief thing, it's science. You know, because again, people are conditioned to taking drugs and pills and things that
absolutely.
So I think that's probably been our biggest challenge, you know, because once you put it on people, then everything goes out the window. Like, I don't care. It works. You just get it.
Great.
Just
Totally. Right.
But getting past that, and, you know, because it's just over most people's heads, or they've just never heard about it, you know? So.
Well, I mean, going through that hardship that you did, the rebrand, and, you know, all the lost money that you had invested, you know, I mean, that obviously says a lot to you guys and who you are, and of course, obviously, your belief in what you guys are doing and the importance and the impact that it makes, and I think that would have crushed a lot of people, and probably, you know, don't know that they would have been able to you know, kept the commitment to keep this thing moving. So that's awesome.
I think both of us really have that belief that, you know, if you really believe it, you got to just adapt and keep going. And
keep going.
You know, it actually, to be honest with you, I mean, without, obviously, it costs a lot of money, a lot of things that we didn't want to have to go through, but it worked out for the best. We have a much better name, better brand. It's just, you know, in the long run, it's, you know, it's something that we wouldn't have done, something we were forced to do, but something we needed to do. And so, you know, over time, you know, it's like, that's, I guess when you look at it now, it's a setback.
The blessing.
But when we look back, you know, it's just, that's just going to be a transition. And so right now, you know, it's just getting the word back out there, and the understanding and the education, and, you know.
And there's naysayers, you know, and you just have to ignore them.
No way. Of course,
you're never going to make it, you know, and like this. Yes, we will.
Yeah, here, put a patch on. Put a patch on.
Put a patch on.
Good for you. Yeah, there you go.
Right here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, exactly. You know, if you're not doing something big, or, you know, maybe even a little bit scary, then you probably don't have any naysayers, and you're probably not, like, you know, naysayers is a good sign that you're up to something good and big. So that's good. Yeah.
You know, we just believe in helping people at the forefront, and the product is cool. So that's like awesome. You know what I mean? But mostly we're just really good people, and we just want to give back.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, what would be, you know, as we start to wrap this up, you know, is there one or two things that you can leave the listener with as we head out of here to, you know, help them with what you guys are doing to help move their life forward today?
I would really like to say to anyone who's watching that you should just keep an open mind. because a lot of people that are watching, I guarantee, are on something, needed something in the past, and
Yeah.
be stuck in a situation. So if that is you, just keep an open mind and do a little research on our product, and maybe just give it a shout. Call us or send an email. Also, if you have any questions, I will get it directly. Mark will get it directly. If you need any help, even before you, but like, we don't want your money kind of thing. Just like, if you need
Yeah.
help with anything, you can
Yeah.
call.
You know,
Awesome.
I throw out there too that, you know, just for, especially for the people, you know, with PTSD and things like that, it's something that's really tough to talk about. And it's probably a lot of people listening and watching that have it, but haven't said anything to anybody, you know. And, you know, I think I told you in 2009, I had 2 strokes. And so that's given me some emotional, mental things, challenges to deal with myself. And so, and some of them are tough to talk about, you know. And so there's an option, there's something that you can go to that you don't have to worry about side effects and worry about being addicted to.
Yeah.
You know, and like Lauren said, you know, we're always here to help. If someone's got questions, they can always reach out to us. But I think that's my thing I want to leave everybody with, just something that, you know, be, like Lauren said, be open-minded to it. You know, your body's amazing. You know, people have been healing themselves without all these drugs. You know, we just started getting drugs 100 years ago. People before that, you know, people were still healing. And so there's other options out there that, you know, we can go to. So like Lauren said, keep an open mind, and, you know, just your body can, you know, do amazing things. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That you guys did mention social media. What's the main platform that you guys are on? And
we have a page. We're biggest is Facebook and TikTok.
Okay, and that's just BodyHZ.
BodyHZ. Yeah.
BodyHZ. Okay, perfect. Yeah, easy to find. We'll get all that linked up for everybody as well, in the show notes for sure, so that it's easy to find and get a hold of you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and taking the time. I really appreciate it. It's been great.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate your service. Appreciate your time as well.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.